hat trick. A Lion has toured all three countries that the Lions play. It's something not very many players do. Have you taken the time to reflect on just how special an achievement that is, how proud you are of it?
Yeah, very, very proud. It's something I, set out in a bit of a goal after the first two. When your name is read out, incredible feeling. Family are delighted, you're delighted. But it's, for me, I suppose, having been on two, it's what you do in the next 6, 7 weeks that really counts. So, yeah, really, really proud and happy when the squad was announced. But I think to make it a success, or to have a really fond memory of it afterwards, it's about what you do in the next 6, 7 weeks. You know what I mean? If we make this a successful trip, with a win, it makes it all the more special. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to be sitting here for the third time, but to really feel the benefits, or the how special a tour this can be. We got to be successful. So that's what we've kind of switched into now. I think looking at it in 8 weeks' time, when we're all finished and we're having our holidays, it'll be about how successful we were. So that's what we've quickly switched into in training, and it's been brilliant.
And you know better than most just how important the camaraderie, the bonds that you build in these tours are. The last that you have along the way, I think I've watched the video of Zibo calling Rob Penny about 100 times. Who is already emerging as the potential jokers in the pack, the practical jokers, maybe the butt of the jokes as well?
There's a few, yeah. I suppose it's lads from the same country slagging each other. So the fellas that are the butt of the jokes, we're getting there. We're getting tighter. You feel a little bit more comfortable slagging lads, which is always a good sign. But yeah, there's loads of front runners. There's lads from previous tours, and there's guys that are coming through that you haven't seen before. I suppose Chris Harris is a bit of a funny guy. Getting to know him quite well off the pitch, and yeah, like you said, there's loads of relationships forming. The bond is really good. I think having us in a bubble is aiding that. We all realise how closely we're going to live together for the next while. So we kind of realise we're going to have to get along, and lads have been making that effort. You come on tour, and sometimes if you're used to your club or whatever, you can kick back a little bit off the pitch. But I think people are making an effort off the pitch to get to know each other, to be hanging around a little bit more, and form those relationships. And yeah, having been on a couple this time, it feels really good. It feels like there's a natural kind of bond and a bit of crack about the place, which is like you said, it's very, very important moving forward.
Is there a cross-nation bromance that has developed yet? I think it was Haskell and Sean O'Brien 4 years ago, wasn't it?
That was a very strong one. At the moment, yeah, there's probably one or two. Yeah, take another couple of weeks to form properly, but I think being Irish, I think getting Bundy, Aki, and Robbie Henshaw to separate is going to be a massive challenge. They usually, if one comes in the door, the other one is sure to follow. So yeah, there'll be little things like that. But yeah, again, genuinely, there's good bonds all over the place.
And Gregor said you've been doing a lot of singing so far. So who's got the voice of an angel and who's tone deaf?
Yeah, we've had a lot of choir practice. A few questionable song choices from the nations, but we're getting there. We actually had a few beers the other night, and it was our best rendition yet. So I think we're getting there with them. Tyg Byrne fancies himself as a singer. Tone deaf, Tyg Furlong. I know I'm picking two Irish lads, but they're the lads I stand beside when we have our choir practice. But no, it's been good fun.
And just finally, Conor, obviously in the Irish squad for a long time, you've been one of the senior players. You're obviously a senior player in this tour as well. Is that a role that Warren's asked you to play, to be somebody that the younger players can go to and pick your brains and you can give them some advice?
Warren hasn't said anything to me. I think what Warren does is he creates an environment where it's easy to be yourself. Don't try and be someone different. Don't do anything different that you wouldn't do in your national camp. Obviously, the bonding aspect is there to start, but I think everyone knows their role. Everyone knows how to play the game. I think I think that kind of stuff comes out naturally in lads. The small chats you have off the pitch, on the bus. every player here is experienced. People might be on a couple more tours, but the talent in the room is incredible, and it probably takes a bit of getting used to, no matter how many caps you have. Being in a room with that amount of experience and skill and talent is pretty special. So in terms of those roles, I think they figure themselves out. I think everyone feels comfortable being themselves, and that's huge. If you're a bit nervous in a group or whatever, that probably takes away from what you can do on the pitch. So so far everyone's gotten to know each other well, feel relaxed around each other, isn't afraid to speak their mind. So I think that's going to be really important over the next while.
Thanks very much, Conor. Play well on Saturday.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hi Conor, it's Nick Heath here from Talk Sport. How is it being back in camp? How prepared do you guys feel for Saturday?
Yeah, it's been great being in camp. It's been great to get the jersey and be on our own for nearly 2 weeks now preparing. It's been a challenge. Obviously, 4 nations coming together as one, a new playbook, new calls. It's a lot of stuff that we're all used to playing within our own clubs and nations. It's just putting different names on it and getting used to that, and subtle differences, that Gregor has brought in and Steve in defence. So it's been challenging, to be honest with you, because the first 2 weeks are really important to bed in those calls, make them feel like second nature, and kind of get that understanding with fellas. So that's what we've done a lot of work on over the last 2 weeks. The training's been intense. It's been brilliant. It feels like we've worked really hard, and we've worked hard off the pitch as well to kind of understand what we're trying to do with the way we're trying to play, and make it as kind of quick and second nature as possible. So it's been a great 2 weeks, with a lot of work put in, I think.
Are you happy with how second nature it's feeling ahead of Saturday?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Now, you're one of 8 in the 23 for Saturday who played in the final test against New Zealand 4 years ago. I mean, is that registering? Is it a chance to pick up the shirt as one of the last to wear it?
Haven't thought about it too much. It's obviously a brand new tour with completely new opportunities, but yeah, when we did the photo shoot during the Six Nations for the potential Lions selection, I think putting on the jersey, you had to think back to when you last wore it and how special it could be, and it kind of put a bit of fire in the belly in terms of wanting to make this tour. And yeah, look, there's opportunities. Everyone's going to get a chance, but yeah, to be able to put on that jersey again is an incredible feeling. It's one you'd absolutely never get tired of doing, and to be able to do it in front of fans, in Murrayfield is something really special. So yeah, feel really lucky. To be able to get that opportunity to do it again in front of fans. Not many of us have played in front of fans for a very long time. And have a few of your family members there. It's gonna be really, really special. Yeah.
Yeah, and therefore, as one of the first to get the campaign underway, it's a chance to stake a claim at the Test jersey right from the start.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. With all the crack and all the fun we're having, I suppose everyone knows why we're here, and it's to win a Test series. And again, like you said, this is the first chance lads get to put a marker down. Against Japan, who most of the Irish and Scottish lads know are an absolutely quality outfit. It's a big responsibility. It's not just a run out. Get the tour underway. It's we need to hit the ground running and gel as quickly as we can. So I think the lads in the squad are really, really aware of the the opportunity they have, but also the responsibility to put a performance in the Lions jersey.
And just a couple more. A few lads obviously have yet to come in. A few positions haven't had as much competition for places as maybe others over the last couple of weeks. How have you been enjoying working with Ali and with Gareth?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. We obviously know each other from playing against each other for quite a while now, so it's been a learning curve. I think we've been all really, really open with each other in terms of, like I said, with the whole squad, trying to get the calls and the understanding. I think chatting as a mini unit as scrum halves, everyone's been really open. It's been enjoyable. I think there's a great respect there between the three of us, and for this to work, it's we got to be open with each other, not just as nines, but as as players, we can't hide any calls that we'd use with our clubs or nations. It's all cards on the table, and as nines, we've been doing that with each other. We've been figuring things out, understanding what things we like to do, and how we can kind of implement them into the game plan that Gregor and Steve have for us, and Warren, and it's been really enjoyable so far.
Next year, Six Nations, interesting. And Murrayfield, finally, a place that can't ever really have felt like a home test or anything for you. How much are you looking forward to that prospect?
I can't wait. I love Murrayfield. I think my grandmother, God rest her, she absolutely loved the Scottish national anthem. So anytime I was lucky enough to play in Murrayfield, you close your eyes and listen to. It's one of the most special anthems you can listen to, especially when they cut the bagpipes and the crowd take it over. So real fond memories of playing there. My family love going there, and a few of them are lucky enough to travel over this weekend. So like I said, the chance to play in front of a crowd, it'll be a first time for a lot of us in well over a year. So the buzz is huge. It's great to be able to do that before we head away on a tough test.
Lovely, thank you.
Hi Conor, it's Sarah here from BBC Radio 5 Live. Good to see you.
How are you?
I was just wondering, how many sort of war stories have been shared between Scottish and Irish players about their experiences of playing Japan at the 2019 World Cup?
Not many, because we don't really want to talk about it. They were tough times. But yeah, in terms of looking forward to the game, I think the coaches have put a lot of analysis together, on what not to do against Japan, and I suppose the Irish and Scottish lads have featured a little bit, and it was a tough lesson out there in the World Cup. And like I said a couple of minutes ago, it's a huge responsibility. They're a quality side. They're really, really fit. They play it at a really quick pace, and they're definitely not to be taken lightly. So yeah, we've chatted about it. We've especially the Scottish and Irish guys, we've similar war stories to share. So that's part of the motivation, I suppose. I know it's Lions is completely different, but it'd be nice to go out and perform well against a really good Japanese side that you probably have not the best memories from.
Gregor was just talking a little bit earlier about the players who've arrived in camp this week, particularly the backs, saying that the bar just gets raised, there's more quality coming in. How do you find that when more players arrive?
Yeah, myself and Bundy were only talking about it
there because you've been put on mute by someone else, Conor. There you go, you're
Am I back? Yeah, myself and Bundy were only talking about that after training on Tuesday. So we had our starting backline, and then in the opposition backline was loaded with the especially the new guys that have arrived. You'd Owen at 10, you'd Elliot Daly at 15, you'd Chris Harris in the centre. So the opposition backline was absolutely loaded with quality players, and it's not very often you get to train against that quality. So on both sides of the ball, it was like you said, the bar has been absolutely lifted since everyone has arrived. I know we have a few more boys to arrive too, and that's going to lift it even more. So I think it puts everyone in a really sharp mindset. You're not going out and running through drills for the sake of it. You're going out and you're attacking or defending against some of the best players in the world. So it's an awesome environment to be in.
And I fully appreciate, Conor, there is nothing you can do about the COVID situation yourselves in South Africa at the moment, but is it weighing slightly at the back of players' minds about what you're actually heading towards next week?
I think we've all lived it for the last year and a bit now, and it's something we've learned to live with. I think being in Jersey, it's been cool to see. We've remained in our bubble, but it's been cool to see normal life outside the hotel. And have an open training session. Obviously done very safely, but we're aware South Africa is going to be completely different. I think that's it. Definitely, you'd love to be going down to an open South Africa, where you can have fans, and the memories of watching the 2009 tour are incredible. Just the travelling support, and in my experience over the last couple of tours, it makes it so special. But I think to the core of it, you know, to get the opportunity to play in a test series for the Lions is something really special. That'll remain at the front of our minds. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge. I think there's no point in saying anything else. It will be a challenge with COVID. We're going to be together really, really tight for the 6 weeks when we're down there. But you know, we're very, very lucky we get to do this. So you know, you just gotta get through it as best you can.
Thank you, Conor.
Hi Conor, Sinead from Virgin Media in Dublin. How are you?
How are we doing?
You mentioned there about going on, an aim to get on a third tour. Was there any point over the last few years when you thought with that shoulder injury that it might not be possible?
Yeah, geez, as a professional rugby player, I suppose it's you go through those kind of thoughts weekly, depending on how you play, well or not so well, or whether you're injured or not. So I think it's a battle week to week as a professional athlete, but you gotta, I suppose, keep your main goal in sight and stay positive and stay true to yourself. And you know, whatever about the two previous tours, this is the most satisfying for me by a long way. I think with the challenges with injury and you know, playing wise and things like that, it's something I'm definitely really proud of myself to have come through and made it to this stage. But you know, I was here 4 years ago and I want to experience something similar. So it's kind of kick-started or boosted your motivation again, even, you know, working so hard to get the call onto this tour. Once you get here, you know, what makes this special is how you perform on the pitch. You know, obviously the relationships and the experiences we have off the pitch are going to be really, really important. But ultimately, it's about what you do on the pitch and whether you're successful or not.
How are you gelling with Dan Biggar?
Great, yeah, I know Dan from the last tour, and anytime I play against Dan, you know, he's a gent. He's full of chat, and it's been great. He's been the only 10 here for the majority of our time in Jersey, so he's had a lot on his shoulders, and you know, he's been really, really impressive. I think you can see it in Dan. I saw an article probably after the last tour that he said, you know, obviously with Johnny and Owen there, he kind of resigned himself, you know, that he was going to play a few games but maybe not push too much in the test side. And you know, you can see there's a difference in him this time round. You know, he's had a very successful few years with Wales, and you know, he's matured even more as a player. And yeah, you can see it in him. He's been brilliant, and as a person, get on really well with Dan. He's a top fella, and you know, off the pitch, he's a pleasure to be around.
And just quickly, Gregor mentioned it there about the Irish anthem that Jack Conan. What was that? What is the Irish song that he sang?
Wild Rover. I wouldn't say sang. He attempted to sing it, but we're getting there.